right, welcome back, everybody, and happy Monday to you. My name is Patrick Dunawilla. Joining me today, we got Sam Gatlin. Sam, how are you?
I'm good. I made it back to Kansas. I was just hanging out with you in New York City for a week. That
That's
was
right.
awesome. I want to do it again.
Yeah, what did you think? I mean, I forgot that was your first time in the Big Apple. I mean, what a special place to me. I grew up going there, and what did you think of your first time? Was it a little too crazy, or?
Yeah, it's definitely crazy, but the food is off the charts. Ricardo took me out for pastrami sandwich on the last
Oh,
night
that's right. You
there.
guys went to Cats, right?
Yeah, that blew my mind. I had no idea that existed. I just want to eat that every single day now. But yeah, it was great. I met some of my really my heroes. I've been following their work my entire time as a market technician. So that was awesome. Just seeing all the big buildings and the energy in New York City. It just makes me grateful for life.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so we got a lot to talk about in the markets. I mean, it's been a crazy, crazy, even just 24 hours between the overnight session and everything. So, what do you think?
Yeah, hell of a reversal this morning. We're looking at Bitcoin here. It was down, let's see, it was down like 8% almost. Really, it's down more like 15% since Friday's close. But it's been really quite the bloodbath over the weekend. Um,
Yeah, especially in those meme tokens too. I mean,
yeah, and you look
we're
at
looking at
something.
the one that held up the best too.
Right. Yeah, the best one was down 15% over the weekend.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny to say out loud, but you look at something like Ethereum, it's down more like 40% over the weekend. Just extraordinary liquidations. And Louis, our crypto analyst here at All Star Charts, was sending us some messages earlier this morning that it looks like a lot of the leverage has been wiped out of the market, and that's pretty clear when you look at the charts. But he actually has the data. I don't have the data, so to see that was pretty interesting. And I think just as a crypto bull, you don't want to see excessive leverage in the markets because who is left to buy if that's the case?
Right, absolutely. And Louis been calling it spot on uh with this entire run really, but a lot of just messy charts out there too. Incredible hammer reversal, but then you're running into all this overhead supply and just this big old mess. Um, so we got the reversal. We'll see if it sticks. Uh, any other specific broader market things you're looking at as far as SPY? Kind of a similar situation there. You gap lower and then fighting back a little. Um,
Yeah, no, I just think the trend for the market right now is sideways.
yeah.
Grant has been sharing these charts a lot. Ricardo has been sharing these charts. Um, the first 3 months after an election tend to be choppy. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. So I think that is the bet you want to continue making just from a broad market perspective is that the market will continue to be range bound. Sellers will show up at resistance, buyers will show up at support. You're seeing it in the biggest equities and you're seeing it in the smallest, shittiest meme coins. It's all across the board. It's a range bound market.
Yeah, it seems like at least SPY's been digesting that 600 or in the S&P, like 6,000 level for a couple months now. But let's dive into the mailbag. You ready?
Yeah, let's get to it.
All right, so this one comes from Hanson. We'll start off with GE, General Electric.
Hey, this is quite the chart. I was looking into this company maybe last week or the week before, but it's really some extraordinary growth they have here. I can pull up my data and like they have
Are you
they're
talking
growing their
fundamentals? Or are you talking growth?
Yeah, no, like this is GE, like General Electric. This one has been around for over a century. This one's worth $220 billion.
Yeah, and
They're
it's funny
growing
because
like a tech stock, you know? This is
it,
unheard
it
of.
seems it seems like it really started taking off after all those spin-offs, right? Like GEV, right? Like what a beautiful trend. That one came out of this one, and I don't know what the other spin-offs are doing, the healthcare one and the I'll take a look at those.
So this is GEV. This is the energy. Um, I like to refer to this one as an AI utility because they're very involved in that one. But really, you got a high, tight consolidation here. Ripper, and then when that DeepSeek news came out, that got thrown back right to the breakout level, and there you are. This is extremely actionable today, right there at the breakout level. And then you also look at GE Healthcare. This is not quite as good as GE Vernova, but certainly you can see some type of base shaping up here. This one looks constructive, but we were asked about GE.
Yeah, and let's so his time frame 6 months, and this
Yeah.
one's at a really interesting level at those 2007 highs. So yeah,
Yeah, so I think the, the question is, do you get to that former all-time high?
yeah. I think the question is, do we revisit the 2016 highs? Like, do we pull back and then break out, or do we go straight from here back to those all-time highs from 2000?
Right. So really, there's only two levels here. You have that financial crisis peak that comes in. Let's just call it 200 for a nice clean round number. If you're above 200, the target is about 280, which is the dot-com bubble peak. So it's really no more complicated than that. I don't know if this happens within 3 to 6 months, but it couldn't be more well defined for you.
Yeah, and Sam, if you fib out that, high-low decline, those levels couldn't coincide better. I mean, just perfect.
Wow, yeah, great point, Patrick. It's almost like Fibonacci was right all along.
He was on to something, huh?
Yeah.
So this one also from Hansen, CrowdStrike, CRWD. Same time frame, about 6 months.
Yeah, so this is about $100 billion cybersecurity stock.
And Sam, this was the one, I don't know if you remember this summer, I think it was. They had that weird glitch. It affected a bunch of like airlines too. You remember that?
Right, and here it is on the chart. It looks like that happened in early July. From there, you corrected by about 50% in a matter of a month.
From all-time high after it broke out of a base. Wow.
Right, yeah. So I like fibbing out that drawdown and trading that extension level. So let's call it 398. You could use 400. It's really just that range there. 390 to 400 is where you want to be buying. But from there, first target is 519. So that's about 30% of upside. And this is one of the best cybersecurity stocks. This has been a leader for some time. They had that incident in the summer, but this one
That was
has,
why, I guess.
it's been a tremendous performer. In the last cycle, 2020 to 2021, it rallied almost 10,000, or it was almost a 10 bagger, I should say. So
No, so let me try to stump you. Let's get a little trickier. So let's say you bought this breakout on Friday or last week, I mean. And here we are a little bit below. What do you do with it now? Do you call that a failed breakout? Do you give it some room here? Do you lean on
it just really depends on who you are. If it were me, I would be giving it more room, but if you're short term, then you're trying to not hang around for more of a consolidation. But I really like how Peter Brandt thinks about this. So the this candlestick here on Tuesday, the 28th, that was the breakout candle. And so the low of the candlestick before that, which is Monday the 27th, the low comes in around 360. That is the invalidation of the breakout. So
Interesting. I've never seen that method, but it makes a lot of sense.
yeah, and it kind of increases your risk, but it also decreases the chances of you getting stopped out. So I really, really don't like being whipsawed around. So I like to let my charts dance, and I want to know that this breakout is definitely not working before
Yeah.
I get out. That's
Yeah.
how I see it.
Well said.
What about you, Patrick? How do you think about that?
I think that makes total sense. Having some sort of, I mean, at the end of the day, you just need some sort of reference point. Um,
And it
that's a
needs to be
good one.
defined before you put on the trade as well.
Right. Some people, if they're looking to trade the failed breakout, might even use the low, like the last kind of local low, which would be all the way down there. But I think you'd agree by the time it gets there, risk and reward has totally gotten away from you, so it's kind of
Right.
pointless, right?
Right.
Uh, so yeah, I think giving it a little room makes sense just because of the tape and the broader market environment. Um, but ultimately, you need to see this one back above that 397.
For sure. And one of our clients in New York City was actually a former executive of a cybersecurity company. So I had an amazing time talking to him about the industry, and I have no doubt in my mind that this is this industry group as a whole is in a secular bull market. Companies are not going to be spending less on cybersecurity, so buying a leader like CrowdStrike makes an awful lot of sense to me.
I like it. Let's go on to new holdings. NU.
Cool. So this is I don't know. This is the PayPal, the Robinhood of Latin America.
Okay.
But it has a very nice chart here.
So it's like fintech, kind of maybe mobile payments or
Yeah, they do a lot of stuff. I would call it PayPal of Latin America. But really, you have a big base here, and the upper bound coincides with the IPO from late 2021. That's something we were talking about in New York City was the power of that IPO price. Once price
yes.
breaks above that level, or on the flip side, if it breaks below that level, you see dramatic moves in that direction. So as
Yeah,
that is our breakout level, and so let's call 12 the level of interest. We want to be buying against there, and we conversely don't want anything to do with this if it falls below that level. And as you can see, the market has really been difficult for the bulls here. You reached that IPO high and then it quickly failed. You broke above it, you quickly failed. You broke above it and you spent a little
yeah.
bit more time up there, but you're once again failing. So this one
I
has
gave
been
up.
Whipsaw City.
I gave up trying to buy this breakout above 12 over the summer. But to your point, it's already frustrated the hell out of the bulls at this 12 level, right? It's already digested a lot of that. I don't know why I said digested that way, but but you know what I'm saying. So
Right.
it's kind of like that the frustration's already behind you. You've already had like two of the scoops and scores, and it's above the level. So you gotta err on the upside here, right?
For sure. And yeah, as Brian Shannon says, if they don't scare you out, they'll wear you out. And I haven't been involved with this one, but just
You
looking
know
at the
that
chart, I'm worn out. So
that might have to be the quote of the day, right? I mean, that's so applicable to crypto right now. That's applicable to stock the market in general. I mean, it's been shakeout city. So
for sure.
wise words, wise
Yeah.
words.
But no, the levels with this one is 12. You want to be long above 12 with an initial target of 18, 7 and 3/4. somewhere in that area. But sweet setup here with the new.
Yeah, you got like that triple scooping scores. So this one from Mr. Zerby, he's always bringing us the heat. Bringing a name that you and I were talking about in New York last week, Qfin. We talked a
Hey,
lot about those China names. Lot of eyes on China. Um,
so what is this? I forget.
Qfin,
Is this the PayPal of China?
yeah, we'll call it that.
So
Yeah,
this one's about $6.5 billion. Not nothing. Also not something though. Um, it's right there in the sweet spot, the mid cap. You can see some pretty dramatic moves out of this space. So I like that aspect of it. I also really like the base and how it's shaped up here.
it's a very nice looking base. So nice that it scares me. Almost makes me think it has to fail, and I mean, never has to do anything. But
It's just the natural contrarian in you.
no, I mean, it's similar to that the chart we just looked at there, where it just needed a lot of digestion there.
Right, and you can see that since it bottomed in early 2024, this one has rallied about 200%, and that you could pull up the momentum. You can see that it's not looking super great there. Like you have carved out some type of bearish momentum divergence on this weekly time frame. To see a pullback to 50 on the RSI wouldn't be surprising in the least, and really what that would set you up for is some type of cup with a handle pattern, and maybe this one's breaking out more Q4 this year, November, December, sometime around there, and that's really when the big money is made. So maybe this one's just needs more time. Is that the takeaway?
That's kind of what I was thinking. Just because of how sharp this move into it's been, but who knows? Maybe, I mean, bottom line, if it's above 43, you can't be bearish, right? So you gotta
Right.
err on the side of caution, or you gotta be bullish above 43, I think.
And this is
Till then,
QFIN. This is relative to the FXI, the S&P 500 of China.
nice.
And it's already resolved that base. It's making new all-time highs. So
Very good point. Very
it's
good
not
point.
something you want to be bearish on.
No,
But how bullish, I don't really know.
just waiting for it to prove to you, I think, is kind of the way to think of it. Let
Right.
it prove to you. You got a clear level to lean on.
For sure. And that level is 45. If this one's above 45, I think you can be long with a target of 67. So that's not a bad trade at all there. That's just about 50% of upside. It could happen in a flash.
It sure could. Well, and a lot of those interesting China names, I think it makes sense to have start assembling a shopping list, at least, right?
Yeah,
Um,
for sure. And it's not just big like Alibaba tech stocks, but you look at some of these Chinese financial stocks, they look amazing. And I was also looking at the data center stocks. Um, they're
we
more in the one to
Kingsoft. Was it Kingsoft KC or something?
yeah, Kingsoft, that's
Yeah.
the best Chinese stock, but behind that is the data center stocks.
Okay. What are some of those?
I can pull it up for you here. GDS. Let's look at GDS. Remove that. So GDS has rallied like 500% since it bottomed in early 2024. So that makes it one of the best performers in all of Chinese equity land. Plus, you have a Fibonacci's aren't helping, but you can define your risk at this pivot high from early 2023. As you
Totally.
can see, we ran into that earlier this year and have been consolidating below there. But if this one breaks out, I think you have to be long.
It certainly
Same,
looks like that reversal's in, right?
right. And I think you just are making the bet that it's going to end up looking like Kingsoft, which is a very, very similar chart pattern, but it's above that 2023 peak, making new 52-week highs. I think there's a lot of opportunities there.
Yeah. Let's move on to Dollar General.
Okay. So let's see. This chart is a mess.
It
Um,
sure is.
so it peaked in late 2022, when a lot of stuff was bottoming. And so this one is just kind of playing, it's doing its own thing. It's like the reverse card in Uno. Um, so this one's currently in a 75% drawdown from that former all-time high. And it's trying to, on the monthly chart here, it's trying to take out this big digestion from 2015, 2016. You have to imagine that some buyers are going to show up here in the short term, but ultimately, I think there's no reason for this one not to break down at this point. You had some type of bullish momentum divergence here, but that really hasn't helped at all. You got some, I mean, this was your reaction leg higher after the momentum divergence, and it was a shooting star. It was not good. So like everything about this just screams bearish to me. It's firmly in a bearish momentum regime. Let's look at it relative to the S&P 500.
And
See if
Sam,
it's
to your point about kind of like the reverse card, right, and how it peaked in October 22 when the market was bottoming. I think a lot of these like Dollar Tree and like dollar store type stocks, I think they kind of act as like recession plays. So once recession starts looking it's off the table, people start exiting, the safe haven kind of.
right. So like
maybe
it's incredibly bullish to see the stock get blasted.
right.
Kind of what you're trying to say,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Um,
they'll go buy the targets and the other higher beta ones probably.
Yeah. Screw this stock, send it to zero. I don't want to see this one rally. Um, have you ever been to a Dollar General?
Oh, sure.
It's not bad. All the cheap Chinese goods you can imagine, all in one place.
That's true. I have no idea how tariffs come into this
E-
one, but I'll leave
that
that
could
up
be a
to the
problem. Yeah, that's an interesting point. Um, but yeah, no, I don't know if I have much more to add on this one. Um,
So let's move
but
on. How about, ooh, we got one from Wavy. You ready?
yeah.
Cheesecake Factory.
Ooh, this one has been
Cake.
ripping.
The cake. Ooh,
So we
that's a,
caught this one early. We caught this at about 41,
what
and
put it on your radar?
the minor leaguers scan at All Star Charts. So this is nothing new here for us. Cheesecake has been in a bull market for years now at this point. It has rallied about 100% since that late 2023 bottom. And if you have been long, you've been looking at 65 as your target. See, this is what I was talking about earlier. Is we bought it at this 41, which is the 38.2 retracement level. It could not have been more well defined.
Right, very clean.
Very, very clean. It's not often you find a chart this clean. So that has worked out tremendously. You got one false start, and then it's just been basically up only.
And that 61.8 came into play too, quite a lot.
For sure, yeah, the market's really respecting these fib levels. So I see no reason for them not to respect this shelf of former highs. I think you want to get out of this one at 65 if you're long right now. But I see no reason to sell at this point. I think this one is a hold. a firm hold.
Okay. Yeah,
And
it's
it's
kind
cake.
of,
Let's look at cake relative to the Russell 2000. It has resolved a similar bearish to bullish reversal pattern. So this one is a leader inside of small caps. I love it. I love cheesecake too. I wish I had some cheesecake.
you been to one?
I have not been to a cheesecake factory. No. Have you?
I think years ago, yeah.
Do you remember it? Was it good?
I just remember the menu being massive. Like it's like it just I mean anything you could possibly imagine, you could order it there.
I don't like that personally. Like, I want to go to a food truck that has, I don't know, 5 items that they do really well. But like, I get anxiety when I go to a restaurant with 1,000 menu items. Like, it's too much.
I like it. I like it. All right, let's move on here to Sats Echo Star.
What is the ticker?
Sats SATS engages in the design, development, and distribution of digital set-top boxes and products for direct-to-home satellite service providers. So it's like
Satellites.
Starlink or something.
Yeah, I think so. This one's about $7.5 billion. Um, and wow, I love this too. Another thing we were talking about in New York City, at the Portfolio Accelerator was this not a zero pattern. Um, this
Zero.
is this is such an incredibly powerful pattern. You have this as your post IPO low. You found buyers here in 2008, 2009. So the market's already told you that 10 to 10 and a half is a very important level. Then you get this prolonged distribution pattern. Zero, and then soon enough, the bulls show up and reverse it higher, and it's just been basically a vertical line higher. This one's rallied 200% since late 2023, and that's what you see all the time with these not a zero patterns. If it fails to resolve lower, it's best to bet your money on it at resolving higher and doing so in a rapid pace.
Yeah, I mean,
You agree with that?
you know, yeah, it reminds me of one we've been trading here, Snow. Pull
Yeah,
that one up. There's a not a zero for you.
for
And
sure.
then, well, tell me if it is what you're describing.
It is. That's exactly right. I like to have the IPO price as the shelf you're trading against, but it's not a huge deal. You already had the market tell you this was important, so I think this would qualify as a not a zero pattern. But this is exactly what we're talking about here. The bears had their chance right here, and they failed miserably, and this thing rallied straight higher in the coming months. It's up about 75% since the August 5th yen yo-yo.
Yeah, the yen yo-yo. I
Um,
like that.
but yeah, this Sats is kind of interesting here. You have this shelf of former highs. It was support right here. Then the market turned it into resistance, resistance, resistance. Then you got the fake out and a collapse. And since then, you've recovered all of that and are now at the same level. So 28 really is the level of interest, in my opinion. You saw it once again here. It was support. It was support here. It was support here. It's the market's told you this is very important on numerous occasions. So yeah, if you can clear that 28 level, I think you can be long with a target of 45. So that's about 60% upside, and it could happen awfully fast. This one has rallied about 200% since that low. So this one can move.
I like it. So I got two more for you.
Look at them.
We're also getting a question about what is it, the Norwegian krone versus the Swedish krone? But we'll skip that one. But let's take a look at Root, and then we'll finish up with DBA. Yeah,
Okay.
agriculture ETF.
Cool. I love talking ag. Um, they also had the Tucrium. I believe he's the CEO.
Yeah.
On the morning show today. So if you have not seen that already, be sure to check that out. It was a fascinating conversation. But anyways, we're looking at Root here. This is insurance, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're insurance brokers. $1.5 billion. Looks
We'll have to
like,
come up with a name for this pattern. It's like the like back from the dead pattern or something.
yeah, the zombie pattern.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
Uh, no. So this is what you're talking about here is you IPO'd and that was the peak. And since then
Just
it's
straight down.
been
Just say.
straight down 99%, completely decimated. But the Bulls decided this one was not a zero, and they've rallied it back about 2,500%. This has been one of the best performing stocks. I'm not sure if it's better than the quantum computing stocks, but it's definitely up there with some of the hottest stocks in the market.
And
Anyways,
10.5% short interest still.
this one has short interest.
Yeah, 10.5.
10 and a half. Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know what these short sellers are looking at. 2,500% is not enough to get them out.
They're still living in the
Let's rip it
2020.
higher.
Yeah.
No, so the market, it stopped after this massive 2,000% rally we're talking about. Prices stopped going up in spring of 2024, and once again in the summer of 2024. They stopped at this 85 level, and then around Christmas of last year, the Bulls resolved this one higher. It came down, retested the breakout level, and you're bouncing back and making new swing highs. Today, it looks like this one is up 8.5%, engulfing Friday's action. The Bulls seem to be taking control of this one. You can drop a WAP from the pivot high. The Bulls have reclaimed that, so all of our technical indicators seem to suggest this one is heading higher. Now, how high is the question? We should probably fib it out, right, Patrick?
I think so.
So let's call it 200 is the first target. And the breakout level, I should say, is about 85 to 90. Somewhere in there is where you wanted to get involved with this one. But above there, first target's 200. After that, you're looking at 330. And then the former all-time highs are up there around 530. So this one could be anywhere from, I don't know, a double to ultimately a 5x, maybe.
Man.
And that might sound like a lot to you at a 5x, but this one has rallied 2,500% in the matter of, let's see, about 2 years now, almost exactly 2 years. This one's rallied 2,500%. So to say this one can go 500% more is really not asking that much, in my opinion.
It's the shorts definitely won't be feeling too comfortable if that.
Yeah, imagine being short this.
Yeah.
That would be a sad life.
Yeah. So let's check out DBA and then let's wrap this party up.
Yes. So what is in DBA? I'm looking up the website right now. It looks like you have Coco is about 15.5% of DBA. Let's look at a long-term chart. As I go through these, cocoa 15.5%, coffee about 15%. I should also pull up the coffee chart. We wrote about this this weekend for Commodities Weekly. Coffee has resolved a 48-year basing pattern. This is the biggest base in all of commodities.
Wow.
I love coffee right now. So coffee is about 15% of this. You have live cattle. I can pull that up as well. Live cattle, new all-time highs for the cattle. That is about 12%. And corn, let's see. ZC. The corn is recently made new 52-week highs, but it's trying to resolve some type of bearish to bullish reversal pattern. Corn makes up about 11.5% of the DBA. I could keep going, but this one, unlike some of the other funds like DBC comes to mind, DBC holds a lot of energy. And energy, as we all know, has done absolutely nothing for years now. So therefore, a lot of untrained market participants think commodities aren't doing anything because they just look at DBC. But if you look under the hood, you'll see charts like cocoa, charts like coffee, charts like live cattle, charts like corn, all ripping to the upside. And DBA does a wonderful job of capturing that. So that is my spiel. I love this fund.
On the commodities. I like it, Sam.
Yeah.
Hey, great job as always. Do you got a favorite pick from today? Favorite chart?
I think we got to take it back to the GE.
Okay.
GE, look at this base. Look at the Fibonacci levels. So fresh, so clean. GE is above 190. You're looking at 290 on it.
Yeah, I like that one a lot too.
Yeah.
But Hanson's other pick, that CrowdStrike, I think if it can get above that 397, I think that one's a
Yeah,
decent
love that.
candidate
Love
too.
that. That's a great chart.
So Sam, let's leave it here for today. But if we didn't get to your idea, please email us at questions@stockmarketmedia.com and we will get to it on Thursday.
For sure. Have a good week, everybody. And go Chiefs.
Cheers. Go Chiefs.